All right, baby. All right. What up, wrestling fans, wrestling community? How you guys doing? I am here today to discuss the amazing wrestling world. We are here with the boy Christian.
That's right. We're back with another podcast.
Christian and Moss are here. Take over the wrestling podcast world. And we're going to talk about what's going on this week. It's been an awesome week in wrestling, if I say so.
A lot to talk about, a lot of wrestling. Once you have a SmackDown, then you are Raw, that's 5 hours. And then you add AEW, that's another 2 hours. So we're at seven. And then if you watch the Rampage, you already have 8 hours without counting NXT and Collision.
Yeah, there's a lot of wrestling on this week. There's a lot of shows. A lot of wrestling is good right now. I think it's good that there's a lot of different content to watch and consume. You know, people can watch what they wanna. So I think it's dope right now. AEW this week was amazing. Friday SmackDown and Raw was really good. We got WrestleMania season over there in the WWE. So yeah, we'll start unpacking this with our most, I guess, the furthest one out. So we'll talk about this week's SmackDown Friday. Christian, what did you think of Friday Night SmackDown?
Oof. Uh, I gotta say that to begin, it was very entertaining with The Rock. As you can see, The Rock cannot be hated for too long. He can be the heel, he can say whatever he wants, but I wasn't watching that alone. And the person that was next to me was laughing the whole time. Just like the crowd was reacting live, the person next to me was doing the same way. And the person next to me is not a fan you know, that turns on the TV and goes to watch it. It's only watch when I'm there. So if I'm there, it'll be watch. If not, so I will say that's a casual fan, and The Rock was just making that person laugh, and I was laughing too. And it was a little weird though because now The Rock didn't come out to insult the people all of a sudden. Not sure what that means. What are we gonna get out of him? But then, by the end of the promo, he got a little dark, right? Hey, talking about people's mama, that they're gonna put blood. They're gonna give his belt with blood. He's gonna whip their son. I'm like, damn, Rock, are you from the DC universe? So dark.
Rock came in and he said, "You know what? I was in a superhero movie. Let me try to be the superhero in the WWE." So that's all I'm seeing right now with that.
Yeah, no, that concert was pretty good. I love when he made fun of Cody. Even though obviously I'm with Cody in this feud. So, but there's one thing that I'm pretty sure that you loved. I don't even have. Do I have to say it? I think you know
Are we talking about the entrance?
the entrance. When I watched it, I was like,
Rock
oh, man.
Sanders, the Rock. So one guys, I don't know if you guys, and you guys have tuned in so far, have heard us mention this, but I told Christian that The Rock should definitely go back to his Hollywood Rock theme song because it would make sense with this whole villain persona he's got going on right now. So it made sense for him to do that. And I think he listened to the fans finally. And then when he had to switch up, when he heard the switch up with the entrance, that I was like, no way, here we go. This is sick. So it just makes sense. I think like the music tells such a good story with wrestling, and you have to find that story. And arguably, we all know The Rock is not the most liked right now. He's not the biggest baby face. He's supposed to be like the bad guy, quote unquote. So it's like put him with the give us that music, you know, that entry or was baby face.
The minute that the beat drop, I was like, oh man, this fits. That music, like walking to the ring when all cocky and bravado, and the music, it's not your typical music. It's a more slow rock music. I was like, you know what? This works. This works.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think, and then I think it's remixed from the regular version now. They just add the guitar to make it kind of like the older version.
Yeah, I think so too. Yes, I didn't read too much into it, but I think you're right.
Yeah, it's they just did it's the new version still, but they did it like the old version with the guitars just being kind of how it was. So yeah, man, I think it was really good. His presence was sick, so it was cool to see him do his thing. He said some pretty crazy things on that sing along. So I don't know how we'll get to Ross later, but he's gonna probably have some repercussions for that one.
Yeah, he was giving it to Cody. Uh, you go back to the song for a little bit. I hope that he keeps the song all the way through WrestleMania because I want to be live and hear how that sounds while you're there in the stadium. And you know how long the WrestleMania stage is usually. So he's gonna get to the ring like 10 minutes later.
Yup.
Oh man. So but yeah, he was cooking Cody. I have to admit, it was a pretty fun segment. He brought up Stardust and calling him weird, but we know what he really wanted to say, but he couldn't say it. Speaking of that, deviating a little bit, since he said weird, we know what he really wanted to say. But did you notice when they were putting the promo of Roman and Seth from the previous week? I think they did it before the Raw came out. They edit that part of what he said to Seth Rollins. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't see that. They edited it out.
They don't put the part where he calls Seth Rollins a crossdresser.
Oh yeah, because what the bunch of wrestling fans are probably crying about. Oh, they told him to cross dresser. These fans, what they say, they want the attitude Eric back, but they can't handle it.
They can handle it, and
They
you know
can't.
what? That tells me that what he said at that moment was not in the script. That came out of him. He's always cooking Seth with those things.
Yeah, I think a lot of the main guys have a little bit of leeway with promo to say a little bit more in the moment what makes sense and go off something kind of because they're trusted to go out there and do their job. So I'm assuming maybe it was off the fly, but I don't know if it was planned or not. But they got backlash for it, so whether it was planned or not, that's why they took it out.
But I spend a pretty good amount of time on Twitter, in the wrestling Twitter that I have. And usually I hear everything that happens, all the complaints. I read them. And I never saw a complaint about what Roman said. What I'm thinking here is that WWE said, you know what? Let's not promote that part on Raw or anywhere else. If people want to see it, they can go and see it on the YouTube channel. But let's not put it on the network. That's what I'm thinking will happen. Maybe they didn't get like a big backlash. Maybe it's very minimum. And then they say, you know what, let's not promote this, but let's not take it out from the YouTube channel. I'm assuming that it's still in the YouTube channel if they have the full segment. But the promo, gone.
Yeah, I think that was I think that wrestling, I don't know who really was mad about it, but WWE was careful with it. I'll give them that. I don't know who was mad about it, but yeah, I saw it was pretty controversial on Twitter. People were saying like, because I don't think people were just like, people brought it up that he had said that, and then that opened the wave of people to like complain about it. But like, I think it's so dumb because it's like, why would you even shed light to that on Twitter and whoever these people, making posts and shedding light on dumb stuff like that? Because it's like they shed a light on that now, and now they're running with it. And then WWE probably caught flack for that. So
Probably, yeah. Probably that's what happens.
I have no problem with it. I am a big Attitude Era fan. Give me raw content. Give me explicit content. Give me all the craziness. I'm with it all. I'm with it all. So I don't understand when stuff like that happens. But I do understand it's a different era, but I like that it's feeling like it's really not right now.
Yeah, and the Rock is out here talking about blood and giving his bell full of blood to Cody's mom. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I like this shit.
Yeah, he rocked to some pretty crazy stuff. What else do we have us back? Oh yeah, we had the KO Randy Orton triple threat match with Logan Paul now. Let's go and talk about that.
Yeah, I saw at the end that they end up adding Kevin Owens, uh, but I don't know. For a minute there, it seems like Randy and Kevin would like forming a team, and now they're gonna be in a triple threat. So I thought they were gonna add what's his name, Waller, into the mix, but I guess they just not going that way. Uh, that match, I believe that Randy should go over, uh, even though he doesn't need it. If Kevin Owens wins the title back, I'll be okay with it. I just don't want the title anymore on this guy. Like I gotta say it though, like Logan Paul is a great wrestler. You gotta give him that. The guy, he can put in a great match.
Yeah, man,
You
I'll say he
see,
definitely proved himself for sure. At this point, I think we all can say that. Probably
yeah,
rare that someone picks up the business as fast as they do. Um, he already was universally hated, so I think him being able to jump in the heel role wasn't that hard for him. But as far as the wrestling ability and the stuff he's able to do in the ring, that stuff is where the respect's really given at this point. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Ohio is gonna have SummerSlam now, and he's from Ohio. So I think he's talked about it somehow. I think I remember seeing him say something about it, but I think he's hoping to have carry the title into that. I don't know if WWE keeps to the title on him all the way to SummerSlam, but if he keeps feuding with Randy and KO and like that group of guys on SmackDown, I could see him like being in the title picture ish until then, because the U.S. title, that's really who they're focused on right now. I think they really think LA Knight is main event material, and this is like completely off topic, but I think they think LA Knight is main event material, which he is. So that's why they might have skirted away from him being in the U.S. title, because we all thought he was going to win the U.S. title first, and that was how he was going to start his run.
yeah. I would have been fine with LA Knight winning the U.S. title. I thought they were gonna have like an 8-man match, TLC or something, but they just they just not going that route. So I don't know what they're gonna end up doing. And we can sit here and say that they may be like holding LA Knight for the world title or something, but the guy is barely coming out to do anything. Just on the last SmackDown, he didn't even make it to the ring. He came to cut a promo by the stage there, and then he got attacked by AJ, and that was it. They approved the match, and that's how it's going.
Yeah, I wish LA Knight and AJ Styles were getting more time for this feud. People were talking about that a little bit on Twitter. I saw the guys in the shout out the guys that run the Yeah Revolution account. I think he had tweeted about how he also wishes they were giving more light to this LA Knight AJ Styles feud. But I think it's going to be a great match still. I agree with you. I think we were talking about it not on the show, but outside the show. I think we were talking about we hope this match is more than just a singles match, and there's some sort of stipulation to it, like no holds barred or steel cage. Like give me some raw content for Mania. So hopefully we get something like that, and it's not just a match, because then I think that would make more sense, especially because AJ Styles has like this hatred for LA Knight. So
It won't be though. Like it looks like it's gonna be a regular match based on what happened on SmackDown.
maybe maybe they'll change it. I could see them changing it for Mania.
I hope they do, because right now that match is looking to be like not more than 20 minutes at best, probably 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, they said that. I think it was on. They were saying it was probably good right now. It's probably be 7 matches for night 1, 7 matches for night 2. So each Mania night, I think, is like, I think Mania might be a little bit longer than the regular pay-per-view. It might not be 3 hours. It might be 4 hours. So depending on if they have promos in between, and CM Punk's supposed to be at WrestleMania. So I think they're trying to figure out how they're going to write him in. Just read
Prices.
and I think Austin's going to come. They're selling Philly 316 shirts.
Oh,
So
yeah. They were selling Vegas 316. Now they're selling Philly 316. Like, are you telling me something here?
yeah, but yeah, you're right. So that they didn't. I'm trying to think. Was there at the Royal Rumble? Because me and you were both in Tampa for the Royal Rumble. Did they have like Tampa 316 shirts?
I did not notice. I don't remember. If there was there, I never saw it.
This out because if they did sell it there, he didn't even make an appearance. So I don't know if if the WWE just sells those at the events now. He's not actually there. I don't know if he, because if they didn't sell it at the Rumble, then I'm assuming then this would make sense that he might actually show up at Mania. But if they were selling it at the Rumble that said Tampa 316, which I don't know if they did, then I could assume that's just like a merch thing. It's not. He's not actually gonna be there.
If this is the biggest WrestleMania as they are advertising it, there should be backstage segments, surprises, and legends showing up of that caliber.
All of the above.
So, but yeah, moving on. What else we got?
So we got the SmackDown. One more thing, the Damage Control. We are getting closer to Mania. We haven't seen too much crazy stuff with them. I'd like to see them. I'd like to see Bayley get a little bit more of a spotlight for this. Arguably it could have been a main event if it wasn't for everything else going on. So, I wish they could shed a little bit more light on that. But I think Bayley's gonna win at Mania.
Let me ask you a question. What is the name of the team that they kicked Bayley out of?
Damage Control.
Okay, so let's concentrate on damage. Are they trying to control the damage that they're giving Bayley? Is that what they're doing? Because you have the main event of SmackDown. The main event of SmackDown. And your main job is to beat down Bayley. And when I'm seeing what's happening here, the kicks, the way that you're holding the title in your sky, are you trying to hit Bayley? Because you're not making me believe at all that all these girls here are trying to beat this woman down. It just didn't look like a beatdown. There were 4 women trying to beat down one, and it just looked awkward. Like are you? I get it. Obviously wrestling, you're not supposed to hurt your opponent, but you have to make me believe that you are. And I don't see these girls actually making me believe that they're trying to beat her. Is there a subplot here that I'm not seeing, that because that used to be their boss? Like, why is Io hesitating to hit Bayley with the belt, which is on the ring? Like, you're trying to hurt her, so why are you hesitating?
Yeah, it seems like it's more like Mean Girls, more 101 than like ruthlessness. I'd like to see them do a little bit more ruthless to like make the. Yeah, I agree. I think that they don't seem as menacing as they could be, but I still think Bayley gets a job done at Mania. But yeah, I wish they were making it a little bit more of an underdog story, because I feel like she could still take all that.
Yeah, I mean, I do think she's going to take it. I just want her to seem like she has no shot because she's getting beat down. She was trying to get saved by Naomi. They beat her down, but they beat her down real fast. Like, I think she got, like, I don't know, a couple of kicks and punches, and she was out, nowhere to be found after that. I'm like, okay. I thought you guys were going to thrash them. But no, it was like quick. I don't know if they ran out of time. What was it? It was the main event. Give me something like to be like, oh shit, damn, they did that to her. What's gonna happen next? But it's just, I don't know. They obviously, I know that Bayley here is the underdog, It's just damage control doesn't look as strong as I believe they are.
Yeah, they definitely. I feel like I wish there was more in depth going into it, but we'll see. We still got a couple more. We got 2 more SmackDowns for Mania, so we'll see what they do. There's probably going to be more stuff going on for sure, but we'll move on to Monday Night Raw.
All right, what we got?
Monday Night Raw. Should we start off talking about the undeniable Cody Rhodes a promo?
Yes. How do you feel about
I thought Little Dick Syndrome was the funniest thing I saw that day.
it?
I think Cody is doing exactly what he needs to do here. I think he is making me believe that he is going to beat Roman, and he's making me believe that he could beat The Rock. I believe that he's going out there and spitting his game back to The Rock, and I think he had some really funny comebacks. That whole Little Dick Syndrome I thought was funny. When he said, "I know your mom," I almost spit my water out. It's such a. I mean, you could say it's a childish response, but I think that it's just naturally a funny response because The Rock was talking about his mom. So him saying, "I know your mom," was just funny to me. So,
No, I like the delivery of how he said it, and I thought it was a little funny for a minute there. I thought that he was going down a path, but he didn't. He said that supposedly, since he had mentioned The Rock's mom before, that it was fair game that The Rock would mention Cody's
yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
The crowd was chanting little LDS, so who knows? Probably they'll chant it to The Rock. But here's things that I've been seeing, that I've been reading. They want Cody to respond when like angrier, but we have to understand his position. Cody is basically the baby face of the company. Like, I don't feel like he's like Cena, like all the way to one side, but he's trying to be in the middle. Like, he's trying to be a guy that we grown men are going to like, but also kids are going to like. So there's that little line that he has to play with. Like, he can get out of it. He said asshole. He can get a little angry, but he cannot get too dark. Is what I'm saying, because of his position in the company. I believe that you still gotta keep it good enough for you and I, but also good enough for kids. Isn't that how you see it?
Well, right now it seems like they are at crosshairs I mean, it's WrestleMania season, so we'll see. But yeah, I think they're at a crosshairs of if they want to keep this attitude era going forward. But I love that this energy is so real. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on the podcast, so you could mute me out if need be. But Cody Rhodes calling Rock. So basically what I means is you're a whiny bitch. I loved it.
Oh, I love that part. There were some truth to some things that he said there, like The Rock going back to TKO,
Mm-hmm.
right? I was like, huh, maybe that did happen backstage, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think he called The Rock out for basically coming back and trying to run things.
See, I believe Cody was telling us some truth of what really went down. And he said things that I was already thinking already. Like, oh, The Rock, you're just a bad salesman. I agree. He, not The Rock, but Dwayne Johnson. He thought that he could do whatever he wanted, and it backfired.
Yeah.
To me, the promo was fine. He even acknowledged going Homelander on Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I said I'll rip your fur out and go home. Like,
I was like, go ahead. I can wait one day for that.
talk your smack, Cody.
I hope one day before he retires, he gives us the Homelander Cody, and I'm still gonna cheer for him.
Oh, heel Cody would feed families, but we won't
Right?
in this lifetime, brother.
It's gonna be a while. This is what he wanted, and I think he's gonna have this for a while. He likes to be loved.
Yeah,
So
I think
gonna roll with it.
I think he knew that it took him a while to become he said himself from undesirable to undeniable. So let's rock him. Let's rock it as being the baby face of the company for these next years to come. I think I definitely want to see that for him. I hope the fans really don't turn on him anytime soon. I hope if we get this theoretical Homelander Cody, it's like way down the line. But we'll see.
Yeah. What we got? What else we got?
So we got Becky versus Nia. We got a little banger over there.
Yeah, that was actually entertaining. There were actually a spot in that match that I said, okay, she got her, and then Nia Jax got up. She gave it the slam through the table, and I thought that was pretty good. And she still got up, and I'm like, okay, what the hell, man?
I think it's absolutely crazy that they had that bang of a match on Raw, and there's not a match yet with Nia Jax at Mania, right?
There is not. For a minute there, I thought it was gonna be a fatal 4-way. They were gonna add Nia and Liv Morgan, but it looks like they don't even have a match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think Liv Morgan is gonna not betray, but she's gonna cost Rhea, I think, the title at Mania. That's my prediction.
Something like that is gonna go down because they have to be in the mix, but they're not in the mix. So where are we going with this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but going back to the match, when was the last time you saw a match of that caliber on Raw, like a gimmick match like that? They had a last man standing match on Raw. It feels to me that felt like old school, or did they do it because AEW was gonna have a street fight? I mean, an I Quit match. Was
Yeah.
it once?
Yeah, no, having a match like that on Raw was so sick. And I'm glad that they got to have they had the main event spot, right? Their last match?
Say that again.
Were they the last match? Am I wrong?
They were the last match on Raw. They were the main event.
Wow.
It was a banger of a match like that. And on top of that, it was a last woman standing match. So they got tables, chairs. They had a bunch of chairs on the ring. I think they had sticks as well. So it was just, I hadn't seen that in a while. Can't recall. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think it's a coincidence that the same week that AEW is having an I Quit match, then we have a last standing match. So
yeah, it was definitely cool to see a match like that on Raw caliber. But I can't also get over this whole Sammy versus Gunther thing, man. We got to unpack that. We had Chad Gable do a little backstage promo, and he pulled Sami Zayn into his face. I don't think you can beat Gunther. Let's go into that.
okay. Shaq Gable's here is looking like the bigger man. Sammy's looking at the third string here. I think the story is still with Chad and Gunter. Sammy's just here like he's not even sure that he can win it. So I hope that somehow, like I said last week, that Shaq Gables gets in there I don't know how they still have him in the mix because they had the contract signing, and then before he went out there, before Sammy went out, they had some words with Chad, and then even after that, you have Chad Gable like giving wisdom to Sammy, saying, letting him know, hey, this is not just winning. You have to beat this guy mentally as well. And I don't think you are doing that yet.
Yeah, yeah, and Sammy's world championship material. He's already won the other belts. I think he's won the Intercontinental already. We know. Did he have a U.S. run? I don't know if he had a U.S. run.
I don't recall because
I don't know.
there was a time that I did not watch WWE,
Mhm.
and probably he did win it during that time, but okay,
Yeah,
that
well,
time he
you're
did.
right. He's won one of the other. I can't call it. So the Gunther elevated this to not be a mid card title anymore. We'll say that
Right.
he's not. The Intercontinental is not a mid card title now. Shout out Gunther. But I will say that as far as like the belt that's not the WWE or World Heavyweight Championship, he already won the belts there before the main belts. So it's like it doesn't make sense for him to go back. We thought he's gonna go forwards. His whole promos months ago were I am world championship material. And then you put him in with Gunther? What are y'all doing?
Yeah, and he already won the tag titles last year at WrestleMania during the night one main event. So coincidence that this year we're having a tag team as a main event again.
Oh, right.
Maybe that's a tradition. It becomes a tradition now. Night one is
Well,
a
the
tag team.
tradition was the brother versus brother. That was the tradition. Every I think they said 14 years.
Yeah, 15 years.
And now we got Jimmy versus Jay.
We got it. We
It's
got
just me, Oos. Day one. It's just me, Oos.
it. I love that song. That song is so hyped. It's gonna be crazy at WrestleMania hearing that song.
McAfee on the table at WrestleMania.
That too.
That guy, man. That's us. That's so awesome.
The crowd loves Jay. They
Yeah.
love Jay.
I wish they would have let Jimmy and Jay have a longer promo battle, but I'm glad that we got that on Raw. I think it was Raw. Or was it SmackDown? Raw. It was Raw.
Raw. It was Raw.
So
Yeah, they opened the night.
I'm glad that we got that because, we got to hear what Jay, because it's the thing. We know what Jay thinks about it. We never really got to hear Jimmy talk about it. And Jimmy's looked like the weakest in the bloodline for a while now. So to have him elevated and get him to get promo time is needed.
Yes. Jimmy's the one taking all the pins.
Yeah, and Jay's taking the spotlight. We know that Jay has more of the spotlight right now, but it doesn't mean Jimmy is not as talented. It's just that he's gotten that role of what he's gotten into. So that's why I hope this elevates Jimmy into looking like a real threat with the bloodline. Because most of the time, if Solo's not out there, he doesn't always get the job done. So let's have a really good fight at Mania. Honestly, Jay doesn't even really need to win, but it would be good if Jay won for his momentum to get into the start of his singles title run. Because, his match with Gunther was good. So they might start getting him a title run.
Whatever they do not make them tag teams again. Like, if they want to be brothers and be cool, sure. And they want to make Jimmy a good guy again. But whatever happens, I don't want to see Jay going back to be a tag team only. Like, it's time, bro. You're almost 40. I don't think Jay's gonna get bigger than this if he goes back to being a tag team person.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to get the US title or the Intercontinental Championship. One of the two.
I think, it's they definitely need to keep being apart. I was confused when Jay told Jimmy that I miss you. I was like, what?
Yeah. I was like, the hell is this about? But then he told him, oh, he's gonna whip your ass. at the end of that promo.
It's so crazy. Yeah, no, I think that's going to be actually a really good match.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. I think we're gonna get more out of it than just a match, but we gotta wait and see how that goes down and how it keeps developing.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. That one's going to be an exciting one. We'll move on to the next one. I know we had Judgment Day and Andrade, a little seed in the back. Looks like Andrade is approaching maybe joining the Judgment Day, but also could be feuding with Dominic Mysterio.
Hey, I think Andrade is going to turn them down or something. So something there is gonna go down. Either somebody's gonna split from the Judgment Day, or Andrade is gonna come in there and do God knows what. But they keep teasing something every week.
Yeah, it's definitely intriguing to see what they're gonna do with him because he's a really good talent. So I think they're trying to wait to play that one out.
Andrade is a much cleaner Alberto del Rio. Think about it. He dresses nice. He looks clean. Like I'm here. I'm looking nice. I'm wearing suits, glasses. I'm looking fresh. That was basically Alberto del Rio. So let's see where they go with this. I can say that the character is 100% unique, but every time I see Andrade now, I'm like, you're reminding me a little bit of Alberto del Rio from back in the day. Yeah, Alberto del Rio used to come out with like expensive cars.
Yeah, I'm thinking about his entrance. Yeah, dude got booted, and we haven't seen him, and he's in high school gyms. I don't know. I don't know if they ever bring him back, but
Well, no, they won. Like, if you don't behave in life, if you do some things in life, you know what's gonna happen.
yeah, he had a lot of controversy. I don't know what actually really happened, but yeah, they booted Del Rio. But Andrade is definitely comparable to like the vibe and talent of Del Rio, so I could see where he would get that.
Yeah,
I just think that he maybe could be better than Alberto Del Rio ever was, probably.
yeah. The only thing that I like, that I miss, that Alberto del Rio used to do was call people perro.
Oh yeah, he did do that.
All the time. I loved it.
Well, excuse me, I'm not Spanish. What does that mean?
That means you dog.
Oh, you dog.
Yeah, like you're a dog. You're beneath me.
That is
Since
crazy.
Yeah, so since Alberto Del Rio was playing this rich Mexican, very coming out in very expensive cars. He had a,
Yeah,
he had a special announcer and all of that, like his butler.
what was his name?
There, I forgot his name now.
Ricardo?
Yes, that's the name right there.
Was it Ricardo?
Yeah, that was the name.
Oh man.
But those were the good days of Alberto Del Rio, and him calling people perro. Like, oof, I go way back. Like, I remember when they used to advertise Alberto Del Rio coming to WWE. They were presenting all these videos weeks before. So, but
It's promoted heavy.
yeah, he was very heavily promoted and pushed. But hey, he didn't behave. Now he's gone.
Oh man.
High school gym for him.
But past that, we are gonna start our last show of the week. AEW Dynamite.
Yep.
What's
Hey,
up?
who comes out first again?
Was it the CEO? CEO.
Yeah, like I was watching, but She goes out there, cuts a promo, and I think she nervous or she was crossing her wires because first she said Julia Hart, and then she said and the TBS champion, and I'm like Julia Hart
Oh,
is a
no,
TBS.
I didn't even catch that.
I
Well,
caught that, and I'm like the
yeah, I didn't even
hell,
catch that.
and then she caught herself, and then she fixed it, and I'm like, are you nervous? Are you?
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's been a while for her for sure. I didn't even catch that, but yeah, it's been a while for her for sure. I think that the message was clear with everything that the story of where they're gonna put her in. But yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I mean, what revolution which is trying to do? Like second week in a row again, taking shots at WWE about a revolution or whatever that it's going global. Like,
Yeah, and then she wants to go international. But I will say the thing is that AEW with their ties with New Japan, she also was in New Japan and did a run there, which is how they're throwing it with the feud with Willow Nightingale because arguably they said she had got injured in the match that she was had with her in New Japan, which is an awesome story that now they're both in AEW. And where I think Mercedes really shined was the backstage segment they had
yes,
at the end where she got to acknowledge Chris Statlander and show her respect to her, and then basically diss the hell out of Willow Nightingale. So that was where she really shined. But yeah, I like that they're getting her get a chance to go out and do 4 to 5 minute promos because that's how I think as an elite talent you can really elevate yourself is when they give you the time to just go and get better. Like you said that she had said she had like flipped the TBS champion where like I didn't even peep that. But I think that she definitely can do a promo and bring the attention. It's just will the feuds that she has in the beginning be what we hoped for? And I think they're throwing her right in the title mix, the TBS title. So like I think that's going to be a great start, and it's elevating the TBS title now. Think about it, like with Edge and Christian elevating the TBS title.
right, right.
Like it's more than just the world titles now. So I think that's really really sick.
That part I like that she's coming in and it seems like she's going to be working for the TBS title. Um, I don't know if she should win it on the first match because then it's like okay, it's, it's tricky because supposedly this is your best woman talent. Well, let me not say that. This is your most popular woman talent in the roster.
Whoa,
Is Mercedes Monet.
we say I thought you were talking
So
about
and your highest paid. So do you because of that reason should she win the title on the first match? If she doesn't win it, then she should not win it by interference. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because if this is your biggest female talent, then somehow you gotta protect how she looks, right?
Yeah, I mean Julia Hart has been a great champion, so I think
Right.
that she'll probably stay champ for a while. And yeah, I don't think Mercedes is gonna beat her immediately. I think it's gonna be a build up.
Yeah, because you still gotta protect your talent that you have been trying to grow and not just let it get squashed by the new popular girl in town.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see how the backstage politics play into this and how Mercedes Monet is gonna play into it because I'm pretty sure she has all the power. What she says goes, I will assume at this point. She got all the money in the world. They're talking about that she got $10 million a year.
Um,
I'm
I
not. I don't know. I don't know
I
how
think
true those numbers are.
I think it's a couple of years. I think it's a couple of years for that. I did see 10 million somewhere. I don't know if that's what it was, but either way, she is definitely the most paid woman in wrestling. Um, and Tony Khan said that she wants her to be the face of the company. So he said that in the interview. So yeah, I hope that her initial run is really really good. But yeah, she's got all the eyes on her, so a lot of people are looking for her downfall. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of negativity towards her right now on Twitter.
Mhm.
Every comment that I read, it was negative, negative, negative.
Great.
Okay, doesn't tell the whole story because it's just Twitter. But uh, if Tony wants her to be the face of the company, then he's gonna have to book her right because CM Punk came in and he gave them a boost, and they got a second show probably because of him. So what is Mercedes gonna do that is similar to what CM Punk did for Tony? You know?
Mhm. Well, yeah, CM Punk just already had a huge, huge name. It's just hard for. It's always been hard, I think, for women wrestlers to have the same spotlight the guys have had, and it's always hard for them to get people to invest as much sometimes because there's different eras. The era before it wasn't even about how good they wrestle. Now it's all
Right.
a lot about how good they wrestle. So I'm really happy that women's wrestling has evolved so much, and I think that's what Mercedes is trying to get across.
Yeah, and hey, great talent. But you have to know your audience, and sadly, most of your audience is males in wrestling. You don't. I wouldn't say that 50% of the audience that watches wrestling is women. So it's not because she's a woman that she's not getting the reaction that, let's say, somebody like Punk gets. Also, Punk was away for 7 years, so that should be put also in there. Like, hey, this guy was away for a while. This is why he moved the needle, because we hadn't seen him in a while.
Oh yeah,
You gotta think about your audience.
too long. He was out the mix way too long. So when they came back, they just raised the hell for him because he was gone for so long.
Yeah, I was surprised. I'm like, oh, this man came back. So that plays into the way that he moved the needle.
Mhm.
Mercedes Monet, she when she left WWE, she was just doing tag team stuff. Like, that's it. When Punk left WWE, he was main eventing. See the difference there?
Yeah,
So
I mean, when Punk left, I mean, I mean, you have wrestlers who are just the top people, most popularity. Punk was there.
yeah.
I don't think, I think, as far as like, who would you say is the most popular female wrestler of all time?
Oof, you put me on a tough spot right there.
Because that's what I'm saying. It's not. I
You
just
know,
think there's a lot of times yeah,
you know
it's
what?
people turn on them faster than the men.
I'm gonna say Becky has been the most consistent woman in wrestling during my time. I could be wrong, but I think
I'd say that's a really good assessment. I think that's yeah, because Becky feels like a superhero. She feels like someone who goes out there, fights for what she works for, gets the job done almost all the time, and is a winner, and makes you feel like she's a superstar and a superhero. You're watching a superhero. I think that's why the fans haven't really turned on her much. Um, from what I was reading, when apparently she beat Becky really, or I'm sorry, Becky beat Bianca apparently really fast for the title a few years back, and it was like a whole thing. And apparently Becky in her new book, she talked about it, and she vowed to Bianca that she would do right by her in the future, and then she eventually won the title back from her later. Um,
yes, I read that. Yeah.
so
Hmm.
that was a really cool moment, like I said. But I just brought up that comparing to the Mercedes thing because it's like people are comparing like a CM Punk reaction to her reaction, but like there's not, even if they're very well liked, there are a lot of people turn on the women's wrestlers really fast, or they'll just cheer for them in the moment and then turn on them. So it's, I think the female wrestlers that have been able to like really get the crowd staying involved in their stuff, and the evolution of women's wrestling is so great. And I think that's why she keeps mentioning the evolution, which I thought was a little bit of a shot at WWE. but she is talking about how she wants it to be global, and New Japan with AEW makes women's wrestling global.
Yeah, that's probably what she's referring to. But I mean, all WWE or AEW, they're both getting in front of millions and millions of people. So whether you do it in one or the other, you're still getting the eyes. And I still think that it's a little bit too much pressure for one person like her to be put in that position, like to think that she's gonna move the needle, that she's gonna get a million people to watch on a weekly basis. Like that's a lot to ask for. I think very few people in wrestling have that power.
Yes, for sure.
Like
Really
Hulk
crazy.
Hogan had it at one point, Stone Cold had it at one point, The Rock might still have it even today, but it's just selected few. Like there
Mm-hmm.
might even be 10 people in that category.
Mm-hmm.
And by saying that she's not in that category, it's not a knock on her. It's just, you're not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of the fact that, women are still trying to become bigger stars than ever before. And they have. I mean, just look at Becky. Once she broke through, we haven't seen Becky like being demoted. Like, yeah, there were some pay-per-views that she wasn't in. And I'm like, why? But now she's back on track. But ever she broke through that she was the man, she became, for me, probably the most popular woman. When I think about it now, that's to me the most consistent.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. So yeah, man, we'll see what her run looks like. I think it's going good so far, but I'm intrigued to see CEO every week and see what goes on. So we'll move on to the next one. Let's talk about the phenomenal bro, Will Ospreay.
Go ahead, tell me how you feel about it.
Well, first off, dude can really cut a promo. I love seeing what Will Ospreay has done for AEW thus far in this run. Um, he is a generational talent. It's unbelievable. Everyone was talking about because in New Japan it's more about the wrestling than the mic talking, because of the language barrier and everything else. I'm assuming, but Will Ospreay obviously had made a huge name for himself over there, and did amazing stuff. So for him to come over here and bring limelight to American wrestling like that now is just awesome. But yeah, we saw his promo skills now, and he's talking his stuff. It's great. His promo last week was the one that actually really intrigued me. Um, I don't know if you saw last week's promo, but last week's promo, he cut a promo and he was talking about how his Dust run where he wants to do an AEW and how he's wrestling Bryan Danielson. And it was just there was a specific thing he said. I can't think of it right now. I don't know if you watched his last week, but
I cannot recall it either, but what I do like so far about this guy is obviously his wrestling, one, but two, the way that he delivers the promo is just consistent. The way that the camera is set up for him, right around his face, it makes it more personal. That you have to listen to him, you have to stay focused instead of having the camera pan away and show you the ring and the crowd. It's like he's telling you personally the promo, and that's what I like about the way where he comes and delivers it. Uh, Maybe I'm not getting all of it. I'm thinking of going back and watching to analyze exactly everything that he says. I do remember one punchline from yesterday. I think he said, I'm paraphrasing here, that Daniel Bryan said that he cannot be in Daniel Bryan's shoes.
yes, bro, yes, bro.
And then he responds, "You're right. Your shoes are too small." I'm like, wow, yep. What you gonna say now, Daniel?
Yeah, and I just actually you didn't even remember. I remember what he said in the promo last week that made me actually be like locked into like what Will Ospreay is on now. So he said, and I quote, um, uh, Brian Danielson was talking about restoring the feeling. He said, "Bro, I am the feeling." And he said, "When I walk in this ring," he said something that I remember that Brian Danielson had said to me. He said, "When I walked in this ring, it's either your life or mine." And he said, "And bro, I don't plan on dying." So that man is on another level. We
See?
obviously had the great banger with Takeshita in the Don Callis family. So yeah, man, that kid's got the roof over his head. There is no ceiling.
Yep. I'm pretty sure he's gonna win the title at Wembley in August.
I could see that.
Yep. And I hope he is him and Swerve in the main event.
Oh, that would be sick.
Yep. I'm hoping at some point Swerve can win it from Joe, and then Swerve can go and have it onto Wembley, hopefully.
Yeah, 'cause Swerve is gonna look, I feel like, not the best if he doesn't beat it from Joe because they've been doing this feud for the last couple months now. So
Yeah.
I want him to like beat him. But Joe does look pretty unbeatable right now. So we'll see how this leads into everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but let's see when MJF returns. That could be another thing. If MJF returns, then that could jeopardize where Swerve is on the car. But I hope it's not the case. Yep.
We got Okada versus Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, that was quick.
Okada's been here for 2 weeks. He's a champ. Wow, they're gonna make him shoot him to the top, huh?
Right? Right away. Boom. Hey, give me your title, Eddie. Come on. I had a feeling, though. I had a feeling. When he went out there, I'm like, Okada's going to win this thing. Even he's too soon, but I think he's going to do it.
And he did.
But then what? How they going to, like, make him like a long reign champion now?
The Rainmaker is gonna have a reign, if you know what I'm saying.
Right?
Love how that worked. Yeah, no, he's definitely gonna have a probably decent reign. Yeah, they're. I like that the Young Bucks know that they're not likable right now, and they know that they're being good heels. So bringing another guy that they're actually cheering for, I think makes the whole thing that they're doing with this little EVP thing more interesting. Adding Okada to them, and they know that because they're cheering Okada.
So they're trying to make him not likable by doing this, I guess.
Well, it makes people want to see what the Young Bucks are doing at least.
Yeah. You saw the John Bucks in the gorilla position with Tony.
Yeah.
Doesn't Tony look like he's scared all the time?
So he always looks like he's scared, and I don't know why.
Like what, dude? You own this place. Like, why do you look like uncomfortable here?
AJ gets so funny. His facial like reactions in certain situations are the funniest thing ever.
Right? My God, I'm like, dude, you should be walking around like, hey, I own all of this, so you belong to me. But
we got Mariah May and Tony Storm versus the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa. What do you think of that little match over there?
that match went quick. It surprised me how it ended so abruptly. Getting the champion pin on top of that. I hope that meant something, that it's gonna lead to something else. But for now, I mean, I don't know where he's going. I know that Diana did not like that. With Thunder Rosa tagged herself in. So I guess they're gonna feud at some point, or this whole thing is gonna be they're gonna feud all three of them for the title. But that match for me looked like a throwaway match. Not because it was the woman, it's just the setup to me. It's like, what just happened here? Like, why is Tony getting pinned so quick? But it happened. It is what it is.
Yeah, no, I was surprised to see Tony Storm get pinned, but I think Deonna Purrazzo wanted it to be her that pinned her. So I could tell she was kind of pissed that Thunder Rosa got the win. But I know Deonna Purrazzo has Tony Storm's number for real, and then Thunder Rosa never lost the title. She got injured, so she definitely, proved herself today. So that was a good little match that cap off, a great Dynamite. And then the only other thing that I thought of was the Edge and Christian I Quit match.
Yeah, they went all over the building. They beat the hell out of each other. Um, do you find it odd how Edge started to bleed after hitting the pole once time?
You mean Adam Copeland?
Yeah.
I don't know who I don't know who Edge is. I don't know who you're talking about.
We've been
Copeland, baby.
we've been calling this man Edge since I was a kid. Like, you think one day to another is Adam to me? He's Edge. Yeah,
No, I think it's awesome that AEW let him keep his original theme. That is awesome. Then he has Beth Phoenix's wife on the song a little bit now, so that was cool. But yeah, to answer your question, I'm not sure. I think that the fans walking out and singing Meticulous Alter Bridge, the theme song, I think it set the whole moment and precedent for everything. Yeah, what do you think?
I noticed they were singing the song, and I'm like, it's become a thing now in wrestling to sing the wrestler's song. That's what I know.
Really over about. Like Jericho, Judas, it's only if they're really over they'll sing it.
Yes, and the Edge one is one of the best theme songs in wrestling probably ever. Uh, Speaking of Jericho, not to deviate from the match, the I Quit match, but Jericho coming out with some other music now, like, dude, your entrance was over. Why did you change your theme music?
Yeah, I haven't figured that one out either. I think there's a lot of controversial stuff with that, and that's all I'll say on that. That's the only thing I can think of. Maybe he just didn't want to keep the same brand and everything that was going on with whatever was going on, because we don't have to speak on it. We don't need to speak on it. But I would just say, yeah, I think the controversy stuff would be the only thing I could see why he changed the theme song or something, because we all love Judas. So I don't know where that came from at all.
Yeah, like I thought that the theme song that he has now, I thought it was a one-time thing, but then he came out with it again. So is he trying to, like, I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
they're gonna boo him with the other song on purpose because they were singing it before because of the controversy.
That's all. Yep.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah,
Edge and Christian, I Quit match. First off, yeah, them cheering the crowd, singing the song, that was awesome. Christian walking out while that was going on, heel move of the century.
yeah, I saw that. It was like, damn, bro, bitch move.
Yeah.
But it fits. It fits.
Yeah. That was cool. The hockey jersey thing was so dope. I don't know if they meant to rip. It looked like the guy that had the Bruins thing. It looked like he really ripped that off him. Like that wasn't planned.
I don't know, man. They look like they were plants because what are the odds that they found the two jerseys right there next to each other?
Yeah, maybe that guy, like, okay, we're going to have this guy. Yeah, it could have been. The guy generally looked a little bit mad that look at me saying it now. You ruined me. Adam Copeland I think that guy was pissed. He looked generally pissed that Adam Copeland ripped off his Bruins jersey. But you can't wear a Bruins jersey at the Toronto event. Like Maple, they're not their main rivals. But like that, you still wouldn't do that in Canada. Like it's a whole other country, and you're wearing the Bruins jersey. It's like that's like the worst. That's like being I'm from Philly. I'm an Eagles fan. It's like me showing up to Dallas in an Eagles jersey. Like yeah. Oh,
That's what I have to do.
yeah. Don't get me wrong, because I'm from Philly. We're dickheads. That's what we do. I would show up to Dallas proud in my Eagles jersey. But for a random fan to do that at a wrestling event, to show in a Bruins jersey at a wrestling event, you might be right about that. Might not be a random guy.
Yeah. Like if he was with, I thought it was just one shirt, but once he got the second for the other team, I was like, wait a minute, that's a plant. Never mind.
Well, all those fans, a bunch of them could have had Toronto Maple Leaf jerseys on because they were in Toronto. That's believable. A fan would just give it to, oh my God, Adam Copeland's asking me for a jersey. Yes. They'll give it.
Right.
But the Bruins one, that was good. That was what was like maybe the thing that confused us.
Mm-hmm. The minute I saw it, I was like, yeah, I don't know about this.
I think their match was classic, man. They went all around the arena. They brawled. He threw him into Christian went and ran in the women's bathroom. Like it was good. I think they did a good job. Then them putting them in handcuffs and Danny Garcia coming out. That was awesome because now maybe Edge. Damn it! Now Adam Copeland. You ruined me, Christian. You ruined me.
They did.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have now they have room for Adam to have bangers with Garcia and whoever else wants to challenge for that TNT title, and now maybe Christian can go after the AEW World title. That's what I would want to see because Christian is main event material. He's arguably in his whatever last years, so give him the spotlight and give him a chance to win the AEW World title if that's how they're going to write this story. Because otherwise, he's going to get that. He needs the title. That whole story and his whole gimmick, they need that title.
He does.
A title. So
and he's won titles almost everywhere except WWE. So
he was heavyweight. He just didn't win the WWE. Yeah. And he was world heavyweight champion, I think, for a week. The first run. I don't know if he won it twice or not, but I remember he won it for a week.
That's why I don't count it.
Man. Yeah.
I'm like the same with Dolph Ziggler. I'm like, bro, what do you guys do?
Well, speaking of Adam Copeland literally came out for that match when he won the title. Like, I remember. So, yeah, they had that moment in WWE. He came out and celebrated with him when he won it, and then he lost it a week later. It was ridiculous.
Dude, waited for at least a month. I can sit here. If we live in a world where we can see that Jack Swagger held the World Heavyweight Championship, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, for a month, longer than Christian, a more established wrestler.
Crazy, right?
Right? Where is Jack Swagger? He didn't even make it in AEW to be anything. But we got Christian doing great things in there.
Yeah,
I guess it's
crazy, right?
For another day. Oh man, that match, it was very entertaining. I thought that both men were going to bleed, but only Edge started bleeding. It threw me off because Edge just started bleeding out of nowhere. I was like, how did he start bleeding? By throwing him into the post once? I was like, all right, we'll go with it. And then we all know how the end went down with a bunch of interference. I thought they were just going to beat the living hell out of each other. But
for which one?
I thought that it was just going to be one-on-one, beat the living hell out of each other. Like a classic match with nobody to mess it up.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, Christian was gonna eventually have Mama Wayne and Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus come out, and they did. So the
Yep.
fact they were able to all handcuff them and to the ring, that was awesome, awesome. So that was cool. So I think the TNT title might actually have some new competitors storming up for it. And they need to pit. They need it. Christian needs to come out and say, you know what, guys, that TNT title, I made it worth everything it is. And then if he can't get it back, he's like, I'm going after another title now and blah 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 blah. Like do a whole promo. He needs to go after the Continental or go after the AEW World title. The World title picture right now is Samoa Joe and Hangman and Swerve, but I think Christian can easily join that mix easily. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, he's got to go after another title now because he is everything with a title.
Yeah. And you see right now the main event picture in AEW is getting a little thick. You obviously had NJF, you have Samoa Joe, you have Hangman, Swerve. I think this guy Ospreay is gonna be there by August. So he's getting thick. And now you wanna put Christian in there. So they're starting to make some people there main eventers. Now can they be commercial main eventers, household names? That's the next level that AEW needs to reach. Make house names that people can't remember.
And
Like
I think Ospreay is the biggest one.
from most likely when he gets there, yeah. Because I mean, do you feel that MJF is a house name?
Well, MJF definitely is the AEW guy that got me to like actually care about AEW to start out. Um, so I think that he's probably the biggest known in there outside of Jericho as far as like a household name because he was household built for AEW. Will Ospreay arguably was an indie god, so I don't really say he's AEW homegrown. But yeah, MJF, Adam Cole. Uh, Adam Cole was pretty big on the indies and had his NXT run too. So maybe he, yeah, MJF might be the first AEW homegrown guy, and Swerve, him and Swerve probably
Yeah,
because they weren't crazy on the indies. Like I think Swerve maybe had a little bit more name than MJF on the indie, but he still didn't. Yeah,
yeah, and Swerve was in NXT at some point, but he's getting very well over with AEW, and I think it's time for him to get that championship. Uh, he's he's like one of those organic now baby faces that automatically had to become one of the good guys because the crowd just end up liking him. I mean, that's how it happened with me. So, and that's how I feel the other fans are seeing him as well.
yeah, Swerve and MJF probably the two biggest guys that got over to AEW just from AEW. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Um, MJF, we don't know the timeline of him getting back, but I think he got surgery. So I don't know when we see him again. But I assume we'll probably see him right before Wembley.
I will assume that by that time he should be back.
He's not going to be gone longer than a year
Right, I think a year tops.
because he left in August at World's End of this year. Or no, September was World End, right? Or was it November, October?
I thought that he left in December.
Okay, maybe it was closer to the end of the year. So
Yeah,
November-ish. Whenever World's End was. I don't know when World's End was.
yeah. I think it was December because the match was
Oh, he hasn't really been
created.
gone that long.
No, no. So, and I know that he didn't want to get surgery because it was gonna be longer, I believe. So he was trying just to rehab the shoulder, but it's been almost 3 months now.
And then yeah, I'd say by June he should probably be all right. People are talking. He's not coming to WWE yet. It's not happening yet.
I don't think so. I think he has a lot more to do with AEW, but time will tell. But that will bring this to an end for this
I'll
one
wrap it
season
up,
chat.
man.
Yep, We will see you guys next week.
Next week, shout out Christian, shout out Moss. We out here, we talking wrestling.